Every homeowner has to make a decision when planning their renovation. And that decision is this: do I do the work myself, DIY, or do I hire a contractor? Sometimes that decision is easy and sometimes it's not. Let me explain. If you're planning a major basement renovation and you know it's going to require lots of tools, lots of manpower, lots of skills that you may not have, then chances are the decision is really easy because obviously you're going to hire a contractor. But that decision gets a little harder when perhaps you're renovating a bathroom and you, the homeowner, are quite a handy person and perhaps you have a decent amount of tools already and you start to think, hey, maybe I can tackle this project on my own and save the cost of hiring a contractor. But either way, you're gonna have to make the decision. Do I do the project myself or do I hire a contractor? And I can tell you, after 30 years and hundreds of clients, this one decision can either save you some money or, if you make a mistake, could actually cost you thousands. So in today's video, I'm gonna break down what the differences are between doing a project yourself, DIY, and doing a project where you hire a contractor. And by the end of this video, I'm going to give you an actionable step that you can take so that you can decide for yourself which direction or which path you should take that best fits your renovation, okay? So stick around to the end. Now, I'd like you to think about it like this. You're walking down the road and you come to a fork. And on one side is DIY, and that's one path. And the other path is hire a contractor. Now, both paths will get you the end result that you want, but each path is definitely a different journey, okay? So let's start with the DIY path. Now, before I get into breaking it down, all the aspects of a DIY path, I wanna let you know, or let you in on this one simple truth, okay? And that is, if you choose to do a project yourself rather than hire a contractor, you need to understand that you're not only committing to doing the work, right? Hanging the drywall, et cetera, you're committing to running the entire project, okay? I think a lot of homeowners don't really think about that. It's more than just doing the work, okay? You have to think about, you're gonna be planning the project, planning the day-to-day operations of that project. You're going to be picking up materials, doing returns if need be. You're going to be obviously doing all the physical work itself, you know, like I said, hanging drywall, doing the plumbing, electrical, whatever. But you now are taking the place of a contractor. So everything for that project requires your attention, everything, including figuring out what's going on mid-project. If something happens, you need to know how to address that, how to shift gears, how to stay on budget. All these factors go into running a project yourself, not just physically doing the work. So you need to think about that if you're planning on doing the project yourself, okay? If you do it yourself, you absolutely can save money, but you need to remember that you have to be completely honest about your abilities and how much time and effort you're willing to put into the project, because it's not an easy task, all right? Now, on the DIY or on the contractor side of things, of course, it will cost you more money because now you're paying someone to take on that role. But having said that, you're going to be paying for their speed, their ability to have a whole team to work on the project all day long, perhaps while you're even at work. They're going to continue working on that project, not just evenings and weekends, right? You're paying for their skill set and their experience. So when problems arise, they're going to know what to do. They've seen it before. They've dealt with it before, right? They're used to running projects, so they're going to handle all the material pickup, renting a bin, all that sort of stuff. Now, if you hire a contractor, I want you to understand though, this doesn't mean that you're no longer part of the project, right? You still have to have a good plan, a detailed plan of what you actually want and what you need out of that renovation so that you can give that to the contractor and then work with the contractor to achieve that goal, right? This does not mean by hiring a contractor that you now, you're done. Here you go, contractor. I'll see you when it's over. No, you still have a lot of work to do regardless of which path you take. But obviously with the contractor path, you put all the logistical stuff in the hands of the contractor, and that costs money, right? The bottom line is this. Here's the reality, okay? On the DIY side, it's more time commitment from you, more hands-on, step-by-step, but there's a potential to save money. On the contractor side, there's less hands-on, less day-to-day operational stuff, but you're gonna definitely pay more money because you're paying for that contractor to do the work, right? Here's the part of the video where I'm gonna give you an actionable step that you can do tonight yourself that'll help you to decide which path is right for your renovation, because everybody has a different plan and everybody has a different renovation in mind. But if you do this task I'm going to tell you to do, you'll be able to decide for yourself which path is right for you. Okay? Now what I'd like you to do is this. Tonight, get a piece of paper and I want you to draw a line right down the middle of that piece of paper. And on one side, I want you to write DIY. And on the other side, I want you to write contractor. And what we're going to do is write some questions down on each side. And if you answer these questions absolutely honestly, it will definitely help you decide whether you're capable and willing to do the DIY work yourself or whether you should hire a contractor. Okay, let's dive into that. Left side, I want you to write these questions down on the DIY side, right? Number 1, can I physically do every part of the job? Framing, drywall, electrical, plumbing, every aspect of that job. Because if you do it yourself, you're not gonna have a contractor there to take up that part of the job. So that's question 1. Question 2, what tools do I actually have and what tools do I need to buy or rent? Because if you're doing a lot of different tasks to complete your renovation, you're gonna need a whole lot of tools. And chances are, unless you've done renovations in the past, you're gonna need a lot more tools than you think you do, right? It's not enough, I should say, just to have your pouch with a hammer, a skill saw, like the basics. You're gonna need a lot more tools than you think, okay? So think about all the tools you're gonna need and we're gonna write them there under that question. Now, number 3, how long will this realistically take me? Now, this is a big one because homeowners tend to think, oh, I'm just doing a bathroom renovation. If I work all day Saturday and Sunday and every evening, I'll be done in a week. Sorry to tell you, that's usually not how it works out, right? Because if you have a day job and you work all day at work and you come home and the first thing you got to do is get to work on your renovation, you're starting off already tired, right? And you not only have to work at your renovation, regardless of what it is, but then you still have to live life, right? You still have to eat dinner, you still have to take time with your kids, whatever it may be. But when you're done working on that renovation and time's getting late, you now have to clean up so you have a fresh plan for the next day. And then you got to go to bed because you got to get them to go work tomorrow, right? So how long will it actually take you to do the project yourself? And think about, like, you're doing evenings and weekends probably, right? Now, question number 4, will I need to take time off work to get this done? And if you can, or if you do, what does that actually cost? Okay, because if you're taking time off work, now you're either burning through vacation time, which is still a cost to you, or you've taken some time off work with approval or whatever, and that's fine. But again, now you're losing work hours that you could be earning money. So that money potentially could have went to pay for a contractor, right? So always think of that. Question number 4, will I need to take time off work to get this done? Okay, and then the 5th and final question for the DIY side is this. Am I prepared to manage the entire project myself? And I touched on this earlier in the video. Scheduling, material pickup, problem solving, correcting your own mistakes, right? That's time lost. If you do something wrong and you got to rip it all apart and redo it, that's more and more hours, right? Whereas a contractor probably won't make that mistake because they have the experience, okay? So I want you to write all those down, and again, be brutally honest when you answer them, all right? Now let's write on to that piece of paper on the contractor side, okay? 5 questions there as well. Question number 1, do they have the experience doing this exact type of project? And what that means is you want to make sure you hire a contractor. Let's say you're doing a bathroom renovation that has a lot of experience doing bathroom renovations, because that contractor might have been in business for 20 years, but they mainly do exterior work, right? Decks, soffit fascia, driveway, stuff like that. They're not necessarily going to be right for you, in this case, doing a bathroom renovation, right? You need to find a contractor that has the experience doing the work for your project or a project like yours, okay? Question number 2, do they have all the tools and crew needed, right? If it's a big project, like a basement renovation or something, is it, the contractor and one guy? Like, are they actually qualified, even if they know what they're doing? Because that project might take months and months and months, right? Whereas if it's a big project, it might be better, and probably would be better, if you hire somebody that has the contractor on site, 1 or 2 key guys, and then 2 or 3 laborers, so that they can really just smash that project out for you and get the job done. And again, if it's a smaller project like a bathroom or something, you know what? A couple guys is enough, and they might fit that, profile for you. But that was question number 2. Question number 3. What is their realistic timeline to complete the job? And does it match your timeline? And that's the key part right there. Does it match your timeline? Because if you were to do it yourself and you figure it'll take you 2 weeks to get the project done, if you're going to pay a contractor, you want to shave some time off that. So if they tell you it's still going to be 2 weeks, hey, maybe I just do it myself, right? But if they tell you, no, I can do it in a week, 7 days to your 14 days, and it's going to be done right. Any mistakes, they'll handle those. They're going to handle all the material pickup, drop off, timelines, clean up, all that stuff. Well, then that helps you to decide, right? That maybe it's better to go with the contractor. Question number 4. Will I need to take time off work, or can I keep living my life and let them run the job? Because here's the thing. If you still have to take time off work and be there every day on site, basically running the project with the contractor, you know what? Again, maybe just do it yourself, right? If you have the capability and the tools and all the other things, right? But, or because now you've hired a contractor, you're able to pass that off to him and say, all right, I can keep going to work. I can still take my kids to the park after work because the contractor is here doing the job, taking that, the load for me, right? And that's important. Okay. And then the 5th and final question, what does it cost to have them do the work instead of me financially, right? Is it, if I did the work myself, my project would cost, let's say, $16,000 estimate, right? Because you're in the planning stage. But if I get a contractor, of course it'll cost more, but how much more? Is it going to cost double? And if so, is that still worth it, right? This is what you want to kind of think about when you write this question down. And again, answer these absolutely honestly, right? It'll help make your decision easier, okay? Now here's the thing, here's the rule. If after writing this list down, the DIY path still feels overwhelming and the contractor path still feels kind of unclear, then the honest truth is you're not ready to do your renovation, and you need to go back to the start of this list and answer these questions more honestly, or think about them in a deeper fashion and, you know, really come up with, can I do this myself or should I hire a contractor? Now, if you want a little bit of help in deciding things like this, I do offer a free checklist. It's in the description below. I'll pin it the first description there, or the first thing in the description. It's a free checklist to help you kind of go through the first steps in planning a renovation. It's absolutely free, and it's not something to add more work on your plate. It's just a little bit of a guide. If you check off those things, you'll, you know, get clear on whether you're ready to start your renovation or not. Go ahead and download that if you want it. Now, the next thing I want to say is, on this channel, I cover lots of different topics from many different angles. Feel free, I'm going to pin 2 videos at the end of this video that I think are really important to get you started in your renovation plan. Go ahead and watch those if you like. And thanks for hanging out with me, and I will see you in the next one.